Okay, so we will start. What is the time, Priya? 10:53. 10:53. So how much time, Priya?
45 minutes, yeah.
45 minutes. You are trying to. Okay, honestly, I'll tell you, I did not have a clue that I have to speak here. I thought I'm also participant, and Priya and Ajay and Abhijit are the main speakers here. But now I realized I have to speak for 45 minutes. Okay, so I just thought I'll do something very different. Okay, because Baki otherwise numbers, charts, what we have to do, strategy. Strategy is the most commonly used word. Okay, the most, I would say, most misused word also. So we will not talk about all of that. I'll just talk something about leadership. Power within. Okay, so this is all about power within. How many of you have at least read about, seen the book called Power Within? Read the book, read the Power Within. This is a new book. So this book has nothing, the name of this topic has nothing to do with the book. The book is by Dr. R. Balasubramanian. It is a book on Power Within, the Leadership Legacy of Narendra Modi. Okay, so I was reading that book. So at that point of time, I was there was something else that's happening, so I just made this presentation. Just the title is that from that, but it has nothing to do with the book. It has nothing to do with Modi. It has nothing to do with BJP. Anyway, that is a great book to read. That is a great book to read because you must read that, because Modi is the only Indian Prime Minister who is born post-independence, including Atal Bihari Vajpayee and our honorable earlier Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. They are all pre-independence born. So unka chintan and everything is because of the vestige of the remnants of the British era. Whereas Modi is a post-independence born Prime Minister. So his complete thinking, the way he gets things done, and that is why we are all standing here in Srinagar, okay? Without fear or favor, we are standing here in Srinagar. Because some extraordinary things have happened in this nation. So please read that book. Anyway, this book is not about, this topic is not about prachar of that book, but that book is a good book to read, and about what is Modi's style, what is his thinking, and Modi has got bucks on one side, and he's got detractors on the other side, who will troll him for anything that he does, right? But Modi is not any of that actually. He is not what the bucks understand, or not what detractors, he is something beyond that. Okay, so leadership is the only thing that I've taken from the book, and that's what we will talk about for a few minutes. Okay, so before I start,
Pointer.
Pointer. Okay. So, not required. So, who is the leader in this set of 45 people? Who is the leader here? I heard something.
Everyone.
Abhijit is it. Everyone is it. Okay? So, the fundamental concept is that leadership is there within everybody here. And everybody need to bring that leadership. And every one of us is a leader at some place or the other. Here to take decisions, to show leadership qualities. And this is all about that. That power is within us. How do you get up? How do you get that? And I just want to tell some background story of this. This business ITMS. Today we have got some 7 to 8 to 10 GTM leaders here and all that. This was not even in the list of GTM leaders agenda earlier. Of course, in Srinagar definitely agenda mein aayega. But otherwise. Okay, so 2016, this business was, now it is, this year we will touch 130 crores, 125, 130 crores, right? Give or take plus or minus 5 crores. 2016, when actually there was a leadership change, there was Ankesh and then Smriti Ranjan Das came here. What was the size of this business? Can anybody guess?
15 crore?
14.
So John is very hated on
It
was 14.5 crores. Okay? 14.5 crores. At that point of time, the dream was to take it to 50 crores. So at that point of time, a lot of us had our own doubts about how do we do it 50 crores. And then the dream became 100 crores. So this year we actually started with 100 crores. But this year actually we'll cross maybe 20 crores. More than 100 crores. So how did this all happen? Who did it? It is this team here who has done that. And at one point of time, it is not that everything was hunky-dory for us. 15 crores the next year we took a major order. That order was equal to double of our earlier year's turnover, 28 crores. Ajay and Smriti went and got this order. We never even knew what is there in the BOQ. But we got the order. 28 crores order from SBI through Inspira. 28 crores. That was in 2017. And there were enough problems in that. But all through those problems, good judgment comes from experience. Experience comes from bad judgment. We learned a lot of that. The next year, because SBI order was not there, such a big chunk of order was not there, our number became 24 crores. From 24 to 32 crores the next year. Then to 34. Then to 45. Then to
54.
54. Then 66.
Doubled around 40.
65, yeah, 42, 44, 2 years.
85.
In between, our biggest, we were banking on Trellis as a software and the Trellis, but in 2018, Trellis was taken out completely. And I remember a conversation with Pranav Bhatnagar saying, now we need to restructure. HR guys like restructuring, you know. So business is down, so we have got so many people, so many तो नहीं था, 3-4 तो था. But इनको क्या करने का है, इनको निकालने का क्या, इनको no, we'll give them how many years they work, we'll give 15 days salary kind of. ऐसा discussion हुआ था 2018 में. That discussion, this business will be closed down. So Smriti, what is Smriti doing? Should we either keep him or should we do somebody? What is pre-arranging? What is this discussion took place? It's very honestly I'm telling you. 2018, this business was about to close down. And HR, when it comes to closing down businesses and all that, HR becomes very active and interested, right? And it's a fact of life. Not just this company, everywhere in the world it is like that.
And Pranav was having target to save also.
Yeah, he's having target to save also. This is only recorded in my camera, right? Absolutely no problem. This can be made public, but only thing is I will just sanitize it before. Okay? So, enthusiastically, हमको क्या करने का प्रसाद मेरा 2-3 मीटिंग किया सर. Pre-meeting, I will just go for the meeting. I know what happens in the meetings. But finally, I was very clear. Nothing will happen. This business will again re-emerge, and this business re-emerged. Luckily, at the point of time, you know, when the intention and the objective is positive, the whole world will conspire to make you a success. So 2018 was Geist acquisition. So the Geist acquisition was a good acquisition. It was a, I think, $100 million acquisition for Vertiv, but amazing opportunity in terms of value. So that gave us an extra leg, which Trellis did not. And through the Geist acquisition, a lot of other things happened. Then we got a replacement for Trellis software also, EA. And with all that, this team also knows how to build, how to make software. Out of 130 crores, we do this, 120 crores, this we do this year. How much is Vertiv content? 120 crores this year. How much will be Vertiv content in that? How much will be Vertiv content? Vertiv ka khud ka products. Apna Geist, apna HP, KV and all that. How much will be that be? Guess. 100 crores, okay?
80%.
So 30% is approximately buyouts. 30% is buyouts. Which means we don't manufacture those products. Nowhere in the world Vertiv does that. It is just this team that does it. So we buy products from third-party sources, we Vertivize it, then we bring it, and then we integrate it on common software and dashboard and all that. Nowhere in the world Vertiv does all that. Okay? There is a discussion right now in Southeast Asia where our ex-colleague Smriti has gone, where they want to actually think about what to do with this business IT. Because it's a slow process, right? And growth takes time to come, but once it comes, you can't stop it. That's what's happening right now. It takes time to come. You will be very patient. But once it comes, it will come in a way that you would have never imagined. That's what's happening right now. So today this team is talking about 200 crores right now. And it's absolutely possible. So 30% is buyout items. Approximately 15% revenue comes from software. And I can guarantee that nobody in this company, other than this team here, has a clue about selling software. Whether it is CPM, and they've taken all kind of risks. Right now we are making CPM, Chiller Plan Manager. Nothing to do with Chiller. But the software is being made by Ajay and team here, because we know it will take a little time, and we will do that. We can save a lot of money for the company, because the company buys it from Siemens right now. We only have Chiller, we don't have the software for that, and we pay upwards of 3 crores for that. We can make the software. We'll go through the difficult process of getting it in some customer sites, beta testing, DVT and all that. But once it is done, it becomes our own in-house software, and then we can mint money with that. Because once it's produced, we can mint money with it. And of course, it is not so easy as minting money. There will be there will be difficulties in that, there will be execution challenges in that. But at least it's our own in-house software. So 15% is software, 30% is buyouts, the rest of it is work in progress. I'm just telling you all this because it is because of that risk-taking ability that this team had that we are right now where we are right now, and we get approval to come to Srinagar, which no other LOB can get. Because I said that if you want to do different things, we need to do something extraordinary and different. So don't take us to Lonavala, Kinnavala, Goa, and all, nothing like that. We have to go to the nothing like that. We have to go to extraordinary place and do some extraordinary things. And why are we cutting short at 4:30? Because I said that if we keep doing routine things, charts, the chart mein kuch nahi hone wala hai. We will go to Gulmarg, we will go to the lake, Dal Lake and all that, and see something totally different. And when you see something totally different, there will be triggers in your mind. Some new ideas will come. Why can't we do this? And that conversation will happen in those kind of places, and that is why we are going there, cutting short is at 4:30. Having said all that, that was just introduction. Okay, 45 minutes starts now. Okay, so just watch this video.
ये तो बंद कर दे
सर आपके उस पार कार का इंतजाम किया है
So this is also recording. जिसका ड्यूटी है उसने कुछ किया नहीं
ये मैसेज नहीं था
What is the message in this? What is the message in this?
A small kid
Unity.
can motivate.
Unity
A
also.
small kid can motivate a mature crowd.
So what is the context? Can somebody stand and explain the context? What was happening there?
Believe in yourself.
And what was happening there? There was a big traffic jam because of the log of big wood, 20 ton ka, almost equal to our chiller. उधर पड़ा है 20 ton is equal to approximately weight of a chiller including packing. So it was lying down there and nobody had a clue what to do and everybody was looking at each other. And then what happens if one politician fellow wants to cross, he crosses nicely, he gets another car and goes away. And everybody's looking at each other. But that boy there, okay, so he decides to start pushing and then the whole becomes a big movement. Okay, that is the ITMS movement. Okay, now the point is, who is the leader there?
Small boy.
किसको उसमें दुविधा है कि संशय डाउट है क्या? Small boy is a leader. Now what quality did he exhibit to become a leader, and do our leaders in Vertiv have that quality? That we will just have a discussion about it. What quality did that boy have?
An initiative, which you
Initiative, okay, excellent.
He had no baggage that whether he'll fail, he will pass, but he thought, let me try.
So it is like our $1 billion dream.
Correct.
करना ही है,
Correct.
चालू कर दियो. Everybody joins, become a big movement, okay? Confidence, okay?
No judgmental pressure, like anyone will judge you, right?
No Jio, no Airtel, nothing. What else?
Leading from the front.
Leading from the front, okay. So he just, and what is most important in that, what touched me is that he had nothing to gain out of it. समझ गए ना? उसको कहीं जाने का नहीं था. उसको तो, but he realized there's an issue and I have to solve it. And he comes and pushes it. And it becomes a big movement. People were going to be laughing at him. 20 kg boy, 20-ton wood. He did it, right? So he, to me, is a real leader. He has no what's in it for me. In today's corporate world, we're all talked about what's in it for me. ये देखते रहो. If there's nothing in Rakesh, right now? You're looking at me. You're smiling. मेरा क्या है? मेरा SIP, मेरा incentive है. तुमको मिलेगा ही मिलेगा. Nobody can take it if it is destined to you. Okay? But वो ही देखते. Be attached to the work that you do, not be attached to the result. Because if you are attached to the result, again, this is the line from the book actually. If you are attached to the result, if you are attached to the work, you become a karma yogi. If you are attached to the result, you will first become a karma bhogi, okay, which means you want to enjoy the result, and you will become a karma yogi, okay. Work will become such a pressure for you, but if you enjoy what you are doing and leave it to the destiny, don't get attached to the result. It does not mean we need not to keep targets of $1 million or 200 crores or something. We have to still keep targets, but we will be fully involved in the work once the target is set. And if you are destined, it will happen. If it is not destined, COVID will come. You understand what I'm saying, right? हमारे कोई control है क्या? हमारे कोई control नहीं है. You can be the greatest manager who gives great eloquent lectures, but COVID आएगा तो कुछ नहीं कर पाएगा. So let us all pray that there is a cosmic intelligence much above us. We just need to be focused on what we are doing. And with that kind of determination, if we keep doing it attached to the work, destiny will take us to the right direction. And this team is an example of that. This team was supposed to be restructured and everybody sent to other departments or even sent out. And I'm just telling all this because a lot of people here are new and they don't even know the background. And I want them to know the background. It's important. Then you will appreciate it. And all of you here, I was talking to Priya and Ajay and Abhijit, everybody here has contributed in some way or the other, in little way or the other. The GTM leaders, our own people of course, everybody has contributed. That's why you are here. So this is not a party wherein this is an invited list. This is a special, exclusive, privileged club where all of you are here. Because all of you worked and helped in this whole process of getting to the business this large number that we are right now. So who is the leader in this video? We know that. Why do you think is a leader? We discussed that. Identify one or two attributes of the person. We have all identified determination, leading from the front. And then he has taken a decision, and through that process he has inspired hundreds of others to come and do it, and together all of them could do it, right? Look at virtue leaders, look at leaders around you. Do you see these qualities in them? Just because somebody has a title of president, vice president, general manager, ED, MD and all that, वो leader नहीं बनता है. He will be there. But he has some of these people have zero leadership qualities also. But they will be there just because of the title. So that is what is called the mechanical center of power. You want to be a mechanical center. Mahabalesh का मेरे को देख रहे बहुत. So whatever is discussed here, if it is coincident with whatever you say, I'm not going to use any names. Just keep it to yourself. But I want you to open up eyes. Leader बोलते हैं ना, boss तो बोलना ही नहीं है. तो somebody calls me boss, I immediately tell them don't insult me बोलता हूँ straight away because I just can't stand that word. So the whole point is he had nothing in it for himself, right? But he did it and he inspired. So the leader's job is to inspire people to something which is so extraordinary that individually people would have thought could have never been done before, and that's what he did. Okay, so this is a little bit of theory also because so there is this book called Good to Great, okay, by Jim Collins, and there are different types of leaderships which he mentions in that. So I will not get into details of that. There's a lot of things written. So leadership is a pyramidal thing, okay. So it does not mean. So what I'm trying to say is that there is another book called Leadership Pipeline. So as soon as somebody graduates as an engineer or finishes his basic course, he comes to the company. And then he gets he gets a job, and what he needs to do is he just needs to perform based on instructions from somebody else. That is the first level of getting into a company, right? And then he starts growing, so he becomes, after some time, he manages self first. I'll send you all this. Don't worry. Okay, Anubhav, take it. I'll give you everything. Everything is fine. So what I'm saying is that, first one is managing self. The second one is managing others. You get a draftsman to work because साथ काम करने का, there will be difference of opinion. You will meet a new person, you will know the person, you will tolerate the person. You need to tolerate. Then you understand the person, you trust the person. So you will make a small team. Then it comes managing managers. Then comes managing functions. Then comes managing a business. Then comes managing an enterprise. These are the various levels of leadership pipeline. Again, as per a book by Dr. Ramcharan, which is called the leadership pipeline. Okay, so what I want to talk about is, this is the first level. Then there is contributing team member, and then becomes a competent manager. Then he becomes an effective leader, catalyzes commitment. मतलब सब कुछ करने का अनुमति है. He can decide, he can take decisions and all that. And the level 5 leadership is what this book talks about. Level 5 leadership is about such kind of people who may not be very charismatic. All the Western books, they will teach you about leadership is about charisma and all that. It's all rubbish, absolute bullshit. This country is oldest civilization in the world. For 2000 years, this country has been, from the time we have recorded history, this country is the top GDP contributor from 1850 years after 80,000. This country is doing something extraordinarily different. Last 200 years, because of whatever has happened in the country in terms of others coming and ruling us and all that, we have lost our own our own belief in ourselves. That's what we have. But we have a great chance to come back to what our original position is. So level 5 leadership is about, a lot of things are talked about level 5 leadership outside. What the qualities of a level, what should be the qualities of a great leader? Can somebody start talking about great leadership qualities? Charisma mein bol diya, it is not a quality at all. Sometimes charisma is a problem. Such charismatic leaders, Jack Welch and all that, dupify kar diya company ko pura, right? So charisma sometimes is glorified in the Western management. It is a great quality. I have seen great leaders. I have worked with some great leaders who look like chaprasis actually. You won't even know a company ka leader. He'll be sitting there silently and doing things, but those companies extraordinarily perform because he gives freedom to others. He's not a leader-follower type. Daily morning 1 hour call, I am the leader. You are all followers. Every day I will tell you what is to be done. I am the leader. You are all fools. Jaisa aisa nahi dhanda nahi chalta hai. It may work, but at least in this business it will not work because this business thrives on innovation. Everybody, we have developed products here in this business because we've seen the market. That is what a market leaders. Innovation will not thrive in an environment like that. So we want level 5 leadership. Okay. So Jim Collins' failed leadership attributes of he's looked at several companies which have become great companies, and then in that book he's listed down what are those attributes and qualities of a leadership, and he's talked about key attributes in failed leadership. Failure, if we discuss it clearly, success to automatically आ जाएगा. Larger than life celebrity, leader larger than life celebrity. Leader का target है, बाकी किसी का target नहीं है, ऐसा नहीं चलेगा. Concerned more with their own reputation of personal greatness. I-centric style of leadership. Charisma and strong personality as much as a liability as an asset. Charisma is okay to an extent, but too charismatic, they're only worried. I know some leaders who are so social media obsessed. One of the big, large public sector corporations chairman, I don't want to say names again. After every event, he wants photographs. He will only select 20 photographs, and he will look at best photograph, the best angle and all that. Blazer पहने सोचता है कि leader बन जाता है, बहुत सारे लोग सोचते हैं. Immediately blazer पहनेगा. कोई meeting है तो immediately blazer पहनेगा. Leader ऐसा leader नहीं बनता है. People will automatically identify what is their stuff in you. Okay? Discussion is the sham process to let people believe they have their say to get by. You would have seen, na? Discussion चलते रहेगा. Finally, जिनको जो चाहिए वही होता है. And company is a platform for the talents of an extraordinary individual. There's a weak general, strong lieutenant. He's a genius with 1,000 helpers, and they are plastic people who will quietly submit to the dictates of the boss. These are all failed companies' attributes. So you might think that such kind of people are successful. Yes, maybe for 4 years, 5 years time period. We're not talking about companies which have survived world wars. Companies which have stood there for a long time. Priya Rajat keeps telling me out of the so many number of companies in the New York Stock Exchange, I think 95% of them have vanished, right? So he's talking about those 5 or 10 or 20 companies which have survived world wars. And these are the, and he's looked at failed companies, he's come to the conclusion that these are the things that can fail a company in the long term. So level 5 leadership is, again, I'll talk a little bit about Bhagavad Gita, so don't get into the religious angle of it. Bhagavad Gita is a text which is at least 5,500 years old. It is before any of the other Semitic or Abrahamic religion leaders were even born. And this textbook is in the country. And to me, it is the biggest management textbook. Because Western philosophers, Western leaders, Western textbooks, they all talk about success only. Are there any Western textbooks which talk about failure? Everything is about $1 billion, $100 billion, growth, strategy and all that. But Indian books talk about heat matlab cold bhi hai. Ushna matlab sheetal bhi hai. Hot matlab cold bhi hai. Sukh matlab dukh bhi hai. So life is a journey like that. Why did I say 28 crores to 24 crores? So second year from 14 to 28 we thought we are extraordinary great. The next year we got the lesson. 28 nahi bhaiya, 24 crores. So there are ups and downs also in business. And we need to go through all of that. Okay? So intense humility and will is a leadership quality. Window and mirror approach. Okay? What is window and mirror approach? Does anybody know here what is window and mirror approach? Has anybody heard about Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam here? How many of you heard about APJ Abdul Kalam? Please raise your hands. Now I'll ask like that. He's written a book called Wings of Fire. How many of you have seen the book? Read the book at least in a bookstore? Great. So there's a particular story in that about window and he doesn't use the word window and mirror approach, but there's a particular story in that. What is that story? Can somebody say? About a leader taking complete blame for ownership for the failure and then talking about and then giving complete freedom when it comes to success. What is that story?
The story was about his Vikram Sarabhai. When the rocket failed.
Not Vikram Sarabhai. Dr. Satish Dhawan.
So Dr. Satish Dhawan. When the satellite failed, he took the ownership of all the failure on himself, rather than pointing out to Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam and other people. He says, it is my failure that this rocket hasn't happened. So that was the.
So that's the story. I'll explain in a more clear way. I think it's 1984, 80s or something. Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister. He died in October 31st, before that only. So there was this PSLV launch, and APJ Abdul Kalam was the program director. And there are press persons, Indira Gandhi herself sitting at Sriharikota for the launch, and everything was clear. But what actually happened was that I still remember now. What actually happened 1980. So they were supposed to launch in 72. They decided we will launch this PSLV, not 84. 72. They decided to do it in 1980. But Abdul Kalam and company crashed the schedule, like we are crashing right now in our Chakan and Aparnath. Okay, so we crashed it and finally in 1979 they will do it. Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister. Immediately after emergency again she won that, right? So and then what happened is on the day, the computers, all at that point of time, whatever computers at that point of time, everything misbehaved. They still thought they can take the chance and manual bypass करके इसको भेजेंगे आकाश में. वो सीधा गया Bay of Bengal का अंदर. And you can imagine our country is not so rich as it is right now, 3.5 trillion, 3.6 trillion neither, but hardly rates of growth of 3 to 4% and all that. Entire nation, lot of leaders will ask them, is a गरीब लोगों को दे दो पैसा, why are you sending satellites? We don't have people are dying in poverty and starvation here. So that kind of opposition is there. It is there still in this country also. That is continuing. So at that point of time, immediately after there is a press conference. Media persons are ready. Press conference. And it is supposed to be addressed by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam and along with the Prime Minister and Dr. Satish Dhawan was the ISRO's chairman at that point of time and Department of Space Secretary. So he just comes and tells Abdul Kalam that अपने को इधर से मैं handle करेगा. Just go. Just leave this place, I'll handle everything. He stood the press conference, he said, we took a schedule which was earlier than what was originally planned. We will get back to drawing board, we will learn everything, we will come back and then we will decide a new day, we will inform you that. And the second time, Again, it was before schedule itself. It was again 6 months before schedule, not 1 day before schedule. Right. Within 6 months, they relaunched the whole thing. It became an absolute success. And at that point, press conference cut timing, Dr. Satish Dhawan was not even seen anywhere there. Doctor, so press conference chalu hone wala, whatever 10:30 time is not seen. And Abdul Kalam comes for press conference and talks about it. He was not even seen. That is leadership. And that is called window and mirror approach. When the team wins, the leader looks out through the window. Whoever can take credit. But when the team loses, the leader looks at a full-size mirror and takes full responsibility for that. That is the kind of leadership we need if we have to grow this business from 120 crores to 200 crores. And I am telling you a number right now. It is absolutely possible. It is not like 4x4 at 6 not that. It's absolutely possible because we have seen some great revenue growth pillars that's happening in this business right now with this, all this AI lift and all that. Priya comes and tells me that Prasad, 300 crores I see हमको दिख रहा है. Well, of course, there's a lot of work behind it. It's not that 300 crores दिख रहा है बोल के नहीं है. There is enough work to be done in the market, but it is absolutely possible by this team. I'm not saying 500 crores. 300 crores is in sight. There's a lot of things that we need to do. We are probably the most understaffed organization in the entire company in terms of the number of people. 120 crores, Priya, they got 30 crores, 120 crores. 120 crores of revenue of this business is equal to 350 to 400 crores of large thermal business because of the profitability ratio. It gives the highest profitability per person. And they were the least staffed people. Because nobody understands. Now people are slowly understanding. The business is growing and the money is also coming. But this, if we correct all those things in terms of staffing and having more number of people and all that and more GTM help in terms of talking the same language in the external market, 300 crores is possible. That is not a budget for 25, 26 or 27. I am just telling it out of my heart. Because this is the way we said 50 crores, maybe 7 years ago. Okay, so outgrowing what's in it for me. We have to get out of this what's in it for me. SIP incentive वगैरह एक बार राहुल कामत सिद्ध करेगा तो it is like सोडा कूपी का सोडा का बॉटल का गोली की तरह है. समझ गया ना? मिलेगा ही मिलेगा आपको. खोलना पड़ेगा. So that calculation all will keep parallelly keep happening. उस time तक discussion करके करो मेरा. But otherwise, whatever has to come to you will come to you. And I also want to tell everybody here, give your heart to what you are doing. Karma Yogi, that is a word in the book of Modi ji. Results will happen. Did anybody think, again, it's getting little politics because sometimes it correlates. 2 seats of Bharatiya Janata Party in 1984 after Indira Gandhi's death, when Rajiv Gandhi called for election. 2 seats. Did anybody think that party of 2 seats will win 3 terms consecutively? So it's possible. There are so many people who have worked for it. Modi is only the face. There are lakhs and lakhs of people who have gone through, who have the conviction that this party can come to power. So it is possible. Similar thing, I am hoping that Rahul Gandhi, at least in this life, will be able to achieve that. If not this life, he has got next life, so it is possible in the next life also. Okay, so next again, how many of you have seen Priya Ranjan and I have talked about this while we were traveling? A lot of this is already known to Priya Ranjan, whatever it is duplication. But how many of you heard about this lady called Subhashini Mistry? किसी ने सुना है? कौन सुना है? बताओ कौन है? अपने नेबर सुभाषिनी मिस्त्री नहीं है भाई. पद्मश्री अवार्ड विनर है. कौन है?
She is in social work, and that this award time actually.
So she got a Padma Shri award in 2018, and these are the kind of the people the current Prime Minister is trying to figure out, not celebrities and all that, Kangana Ranaut and all that. जो भी है, शाहरुख खान, इनको नहीं है. ऐसे लोगों को ढूंढ फिर के निकाल के इनको पद्मश्री पद्मभूषण देता है. Nobody would ever heard about her. This lady is a maid servant in a house. She was at the age of 18. She's from Calcutta. Now, why am I telling what I'll tell you at the end? Okay, just connect with what you are seeing around us. All these stories have meaning for us. 18 years, she gets married to a man, and in 5 years, she has 4 children, and the husband dies. She did not have money to. She had some simple whatever, typhoid or whatever, pneumonia, something. She did not have money to even cure it. Her monthly salary was 7 rupees at that time. ₹2 घर का रेंट, ₹3 घर का सामान खरीदना. That was a kind of income expenditure statement. ₹7, what can you say? So when her husband died, she said that I will not allow this to happen for others. There are people like maid servants at home who earn such kind of salary. I will make a hospital. That was her dream. And then she works for it. So ₹7 salary, she started saving ₹1 every month after her husband death. ₹1 per month से कोई salary hospital बना सकते हैं क्या? नहीं बने. But everything happens, and this story is all about that.
আমার স্বামী দিনাতে ইচ্ছা মারা গেছে, তা আমি বলিনি যে আমি হসপিটাল করবো, কিন্তু আমার বিনা চিকিৎসার স্বামী মারা গেছে বলে আমার মনে ওটা স্বপ্ন ছিল যে আমি কোনো রকমে যদি শিক্ষে করে যদি ছেলের মানুষ করতে পারি, আমি ওরে ডাক্তারি করাবো। অনেক কষ্ট, অনেক পেটের জ্বালা সহ্য করে মানুষ হয়েছে। পরের বাড়ি ঝিকিরি করতে চায়ের দোকানে খেটেছে, ভেড়ি বানাতে দিতাম, ওর ধান বীজ চাষ করতে পারে, ঢাকায় কয়লা গড়িয়েছি, আমাদের হাঁটি বিক্রি করে টিফিন খেয়েছি, এই চপ্পল বিক্রি করে টিফিন খেয়েছি, 2 পয়সা রাখতাম, 2 পয়সা খেতাম, ঘর ভাড়ায় থাকতাম। তখন শুনলাম যে এই জমি বিক্রি হয়ে যাচ্ছে, ছেলেদের নিয়ে মার সাথে গিয়ে বাবু 2 পা জেলে ধরছে, পয়সা দর দিয়ে বেচবে, আমার একটু কম পয়সাতে জমিটা আমাকে দিন। তা সত্যি বাবু আমার কথা দিয়ে কম পয়সায় জমিটা আমি কিনলাম। কেউ দিচ্ছে রেট, কেউ মেশিন, আমার তা কেনা ক্ষমতা নেই। আমি লোকের কাছে যেতাম, সেগুলোতে ভিক্ষে করেছি, যা দিয়েছে তাই দিয়েছি।
This hospital is 45 bed, and now we want to run this hospital in all district. That would be done in today. Other than this hospital, we want to start the Ullidum and Odandum in very shortly.
অনেক দুঃখ করেছি, আর ঈশ্বরকে দেখেছি, আর মনের জোর রেখেছি। আমি তো ছেলে কালো আসবো না, এটা করতে পারলেই চলবে।
Okay, so what happened is that this lady, that man in the photograph was her son. He has 4 children. One of them was a very intelligent boy, brilliant boy. He became a doctor also, that also helped her. ₹7 a month, ₹1 saving. Then she decides either काम करेगा तो I can't even make it. So she goes to Calcutta. She was earlier in some South Paraganas or something, maybe from Calcutta. And then she goes to Calcutta. Then she becomes a maid servant in the daytime, a part-time vegetable seller in the evening. Then she goes closer to the park, street, city and all that, because you can get better realization of your product there in that micro market. And then she has made a 45-bed hospital. There's a story behind how she got the land and all that. A lot of people helped her because to make her dream come true. Now she wants to expand it. And what is she still doing? She is still selling vegetables. बोल रही कि हॉस्पिटल मेरा नहीं है, वो लोगों का है, लोगों के लिए बना के दिया है मैंने. The son is a doctor there. He is sitting and still selling vegetables on the table. ये मेरा स्थान है. Hospital is for the people. It doesn't belong. That is the kind of. Is she a leader? That is the kind of leadership. I'm not saying we need to go and sell vegetables or anything. What I mean is take lessons out of it. In our own daily, what I call as behavior or vyavahar, right? We don't have to, be so attached to things. Whatever we make it, it's for others. And if you do that, you will get to the next level itself. So this is again a little line from Bhagavad Gita, which says, "Na me partasti kartavyam trishu lokeshu kinchana nanamavaptavyam martayeva ch karmani." Which means that don't be attached to the result of all that. Whatever has to come to you will come to you. All of you are here. Is it because of your greatness? All of you have done some engineering degree, this, that, and all that. I am sure there are people who are equally good or even better than us. Not so great, right? Working for whatever or anything. So we have been lucky, right? We have been lucky for what we have. It is not because of our greatness. Somebody has held our hand and then taken us here, and then we got the right opportunity, right market. Luckily, data center market be boom, right? It's booming for at least next 5 to 7 years. We are in the right industry, the right market. So we are lucky to that effect. So we should have that realization. And we should have the realization because there's a higher cosmic intelligence that is working much beyond us. So have that awareness. So what it says that do everything with a sense of yajna. Okay, yajna means you would have seen the Hindu tradition of yajna, wherein people put ghee in the fire, right? So a lot of people don't understand what it is for. It is just a symbolism. In some yajnas they even put sari and all that. It is a symbolism that finally at the end of it everything is going to become. So that kind of a sacrifice. If you don't have to do a lot of that, but even if you're able to step back and do your work without getting attached to it, just step back and do your work. It will be more, and work will be more enjoyable rather than work being a pressure. Okay, so what is inspirational leadership as per the Jim Collins book again? It's beyond what's in, think what is in it for me, beyond that. And authentic leadership. Authentic leadership is a very, very important word. I'll talk about it a little bit. Humility and will, mental equipoise, and leaving behind an impact. Jab tak we are in Bertil or wherever we are, we need to create an impact. And then we need to go. And don't expect people to thank you for that. Nobody will even remember it. I want to tell you the story. How many of you have heard this name called Tanika Velu? How many have heard the word Tanika Velu? Just 2 of you. You have, of course, you know. He was in the Kolo group. He was part of us. He is the main guy who has gone and been behind the Sifi Chiller 70 order. Before the order came, he went to the other side of the world, sometime after COVID. He was also probably in middle 50s or something. So some disease or something, hospitalized, and he left. But he left an impact. Today the chiller business, he was the first guy who put the seed of the chiller business. Nobody even talks his name for that matter. And that's what's going to happen to all of us, okay? So don't expect that. But what I'm saying, this is the way the world is. But some people know that you cannot take credit for the work that he has done, because he has done that, the first chiller order, and then the chiller graph started moving up. That was the first chiller order, and that to a large bulk order of 70 chillers. And he's not there anymore with us, he's left. Okay, so the moment you get out of this, what's in it for me? I'm not saying don't be after a salary, increments, promotion, all that. But just take a step back, and then if you can get into that what's in it for me, if you take it out, risk-taking ability changes significantly. Absolutely. And there are examples, I don't want to quote that. Failures do not affect an individual significantly. Discovering joy of work is absolutely possible. And understanding the fundamental nature of this, I will leave it a little of Vedanta and all that. And Vedanta is not anything, it's about only people with beard and meditation. Vedanta is all there in our Indian textbooks, 5,000 years old. And it is as relevant as it was then. And it is relevant today. This level 5 leadership, actually Jim Collins and all that, they actually quote from Indian scriptures. The Western world has just started thinking about inspirational leadership, level 5 leadership and all that, which we have talked about 5,000 years ago. Where we talked 5,000 years ago, they just started. This is the last video. I'll not talk about it a little bit. But then I see a lot of people, around me. Not in this room, but around me, sulking. वो दुखी है लोग, मतलब ऑफिस आते ही कोई बड़ा सा पाप किया जैसा है. No, absolutely. But they just come here and work because they know 25th को ठीक आएगा. वो ठीक के लिए काम करें तो काम नहीं, you just not enjoy it. You will become yogis, I am telling you. And a lot of our colleagues were recently, अभी देखो, so many people unwell, so many people hospitalized, so many people, I don't want to tell names. So let's not get into that. Let's enjoy what we do and just watch this video. And if this person can do it, we have no reason to complain.
the movement that means you become part of the machine. It's a living thing with you riding. It gives you a great sense of freedom, of independence. It just makes you feel so alive when you are riding a motorcycle. My name is Talon Figgins. I race a motorcycle with Club Thunder Sport. The only difference between me and anybody else out there is that I'm paralysed from the chest down. But when I'm riding, I completely forget about my disability. I just feel like any other rider, any other racer, and I love being on a motorbike. We go back to the very distant past. I was a Royal Naval officer, and I left the Royal Navy, travelled around Australia, went to London to seek my fortune, couldn't find it, and then became a PE teacher. But it was only 6 months into my first job as a PE teacher that I was knocked off my motorcycle. Car clipped me from the side. I went onto the other side of the road, and I went straight into the path of the oncoming traffic. The car coming towards me didn't have time to take any avoiding action, went straight over the top of me. It shattered 2 bones in my back at T4, T5, and that paralysed me from the chest down, so basically nipple level down. I can't move, can't feel. Another millimetre of movement and I would be paralysed from the neck down. So I always think I'm very fortunate because I've got the use of my arms. I finally came out the back of the car and you see another one. I was like, oh no, I'm going to get over twice, how unlucky. But fortunately that car stopped. And the bloke came out of his car and said those immortal words of, "Are you alright, mate?" And I'm like looking at it thinking, I've just been run over by a car. Lately I am not alright. And that's how my life changed in an instant. My consultant told me that I was paralysed from the chest down. I was never going to walk again. I had a 30% chance of survival, and that I would be in hospital for anything up to 2 years due to the severity of the injuries. And my first thought was simply switch off all the life support. There's no way that I would cope being paralysed. My life was about physical activity, about being out there doing stuff, from individual sports to team sports. I loved it all. I couldn't see any happiness, any joy, any reason to continue. After the frustration, the hopelessness turned into anger and hatred, hating the world, hating everybody that could walk, because they could do that simple action of standing around and walking and all those things that I wasn't going to be able to do. So I got over that. I don't hate the world. I was very fortunate in hospital that the guy who had been paralysed, say 4 years before, he came in for his regular checkup. He came over and he said, look, being in a wheelchair is really tough. It's going to be hard, but there are lots of opportunities out there. And he told me, that he had a girlfriend, that he drove his car, and then he told me that he had been skiing. But he told me there was this thing where you sat in a fiberglass seat on a metal frame with a single ski underneath you and these little baby crutches in your hands, and they had little baby skis on them, and you could go out there and go down the mountain. But that was the moment that changed everything. Suddenly there was hope, and that hope then became sort of purpose. I decided that I would learn to ski, that I would try and get into the British team and go to the Paralympics. 12 days after my accident, that became my goal. There is that mechanism inside each and every person to overcome any trauma that happens to them. There is an incredible reserve of strength and resilience inside each and every person. I thought, well, if I can go skiing, maybe I can get back on a motorbike. Instead of starting off small, I went into the showroom and did what's the biggest, shiniest motorbike I could possibly get? That one. I'll buy myself a GSXR 1000 K6. Tried all these different ways of adapting it, and then finally on my very first outing I went to a disused airfield in Cornwall. It lasted 5 minutes before I fell off, but those 5 minutes changed everything. It was incredible to be back on a motorbike. We developed a way of launching and catching the motorcycle. And obviously once I'm riding, I'm balanced, but getting to that point and coming back from that point to stationary is the tricky bit. When I'm ready, I get taken off this paddock stand. Start.
It's a long video. I'll just stop it there. Just one disclaimer. I find guys are very tired, especially these videos are with a different accent. If you want to sleep, don't worry, just sleep. No problems about it. Anybody thinks this is all boring, please move out also. No issues. I'm just trying to tell that, I don't want anybody to be forced sitting here. No problem. I saw somebody sleeping and then when they see me, they get up. No, don't worry. Aram se so jao. Koi tension nahi. Okay? So somebody was, they know who they are. Just sleep, no problems. I know all of you came in the morning, 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock flight and all that. So thoda tiredness ho jata hai, that's okay. Okay. So now coming back to the story. This person, Australian, physical education teacher, he gets a job in the UK, drives a bike, gets run over by a car, another car runs over him, completely paralyzed from here. He decides then to suicide or leave this world itself, see somebody else who is skiing, then gets into bike racing. And once you are in bike racing, they don't care if you have leg or hand or anything. You are in that race, right? And then he developed his own mechanism, and if he falls down from the bike racing mein to girega hi girega. 2 people put him back again on that. So, is there any room for, I think all of us have 2 hands, 2 legs. Everything is intact, right? So there is no room for complaining, right? There's no room for complaining. A lot of people complain, oh, idhar bahut pain hai, ye hua hai. And see people like this, they inspire us. How many of you heard about this name called Arunima Sinha? Ganesh, batao. Arunima Sinha kaun hai?
Mount Everest.
Mount Everest. The train accident.
Unfortunately, I met her personally. 7 to 8 years back, something. She had come down for one event. I met her when she got into an accident.
She was going for a job. Job लेने के लिए NTPC में गई, Indian Railways job लेने के लिए train में जा रहा था. She was wearing a gold chain. Just to take the gold chain, somebody flicks the gold chain, pushes her. 49 trains run over her all night. 49 trains. Complete spot gone. And rats and cockroaches are eating her because they think it is 49 trains, because the station master says between that time and this time so many trains have gone. And then that lady becomes, she is a mountaineer now, with all the crutches and all that. She has climbed all the 7 mountain peaks, including the one in the Antarctic. So that's the kind of inspiration. That's the kind of people who should be. And then the day there are videos about that on YouTube. The day you see that video, you will stop complaining in your life. Anna Hazare and everybody, and this particular video, there was a title. The title was saying, "The little person inside." People see that? That's the name of the video. Little person inside. What does it mean? Or Vedanta says about it. Little person is inside is within us. Each of us have that mechanism within us to overcome whatever trauma around us. If you don't like your boss, there's no option. Because can you change your boss? दोस्त बदल सकते हैं, दुश्मन बदल सकते हैं, पड़ोसी बदल नहीं सकते, और बॉस भी बदल नहीं सकते. You buy a house and you stay, and next door when Pakistani comes and stays there, can you change? You need to change your house, right? Similar thing is with boss also. भगवान देता सामने, you can't change it. But there is that power within you to change yourself and accommodate it. Either you will work with them or will get out. क्या अजय experience है क्या? Your boss is me.
मेरा destined होता है.
अन्ना हजारे क्या करता था पहले? ट्रक ड्राइवर था, आर्मी ट्रक ड्राइवर था. So they were all going in one truck for some driving thing. 48 or 49 people in the truck. Landmine blast in Pakistan border, 1971 war or something. 48 people died, only Anna Hazare left. Then he realized, I am born on this earth not for truck driving, I should do something beyond that, and then he started all that movement. That movement and finally got into, we got my chief minister in Delhi thanks to him. Okay, so this is again about the physical layer, vital. Finally, at the end of it, there is Anandamaya Kosha again. I will not get into all that. That little person inside is within each of us. The basic difference between a man and animal is that a man has got intellect, and that power is within us. The discretionary power. What to do? How to decide your future? What is to be done with this body? Okay, I just leave all this. So what is authentic leader? I talked about the word authentic leader. Look at this. Do you see authentic leaders around us? Authentic leaders are individuals who are with their basic nature. They don't fake. They clearly and accurately see themselves and their lives. They don't fake. Fakus can't become leaders. Okay? And somebody says, Modi is a faku. You can't be a leader if you're a faku. People who don't like him will say he's a faku. But they really know internally that man is a man with determination. You may like his ideology or you may not like his ideology. But a man works for 18 hours a day. And he is determined. You may not like what he's doing. A normal person in Kashmir may not like Article 370 repealing. But he is clear. That is what his constitution, that is what his manifesto said. And I will get it done, and he got it done. Existing wholly by the laws of its own being, acting in true accord with the true self. Okay? So, there is a cosmic intelligence around us, and they believe it. Owing one's personal experiences, thoughts, emotions, needs, wants, preferences, beliefs captured by intention to know oneself. They are always in constant introspection of being a better individual. And they are expressing always consistent with their inner feelings and thoughts. Strategy meeting में नहीं बोलेगा. अगर यदि बोलेगा तो अंदर भी उसका strategy. फिर केवल में meeting में boss को दिखाने के लिए strategy नहीं बोलेगा. अंदर वो strategy से उतना connected है. They are connected with the inner self. And they have very close relation with themselves. So authentic leaders, 4 characteristics: no faking of the leadership, true to themselves, motivated by personal conviction. वो जियो को खुश करने के लिए, सुभाष को खुश करने के लिए, एक्स-वाई से खुश करने का नहीं करते हैं. Seriously, they work because they are convinced that they need to do something different. Otherwise, we could have easily closed. If it was a normal business, we could have 14.5 crores business. कितना होगा? 30 होगा, 40 होगा. बंदी कर दिया होगा ना? But we had internal belief in this business. We knew this business can become bigger than the UPS business. And it is possible. And this business can be the core of the business, the kernel of the business. And UPS वाले में तो सब me too है. तुम्हारा पास मॉडलर, मेरा पास मॉडलर. तुम्हारा पावर फैक्टर, मेरा भी पावर फैक्टर. तुम्हारा क्या है मोनोलिथिक, मेरा मोनोलिथिक. क्या डिफरेंस है? कुछ डिफरेंस नहीं है. But this business can make the difference to the UPS business. Cooling business, bringing monitoring, dashboard, software. And you can pull in businesses. Make differential for vertical in the market and competition. Actions are originals, not copies, and they're inspirational, leading with purpose, value, and integrity. And I want everybody to at least think about these and then get better at what you do. So this is again habit of inner peace. If you have inner peace within, then you will see peace outside. So to cultivate the habit of inner peace. How to do that is a separate discussion. So you have to be connected to your own inner self, the power within. So authentic leaders again draw upon reserves of moral capacity. They are self-aware. They lead by example through action, not just words like strategy, roadmap, blueprint. वो blueprint blue ही रहेगा. कभी black and white नहीं होगा. Okay? This is something that I thought I should end this with. Okay? How many of you here, by the way, own a Mercedes-Benz car? हाथ उठा. John, you are excluded. बाकी लोग साधारण आम आदमी की बात कर रहे हैं. How many of you? How many of you want to own a Mercedes-Benz car? हाथ उठा. Hey, don't be shy यार. हाँ, गणेश, good. क्या? नहीं चाहिए क्या आपको? दिल्ली वाले तो चाहिए ना. 4 पैंगल गाड़ी चलता है. 4 पैंगल Audi. हाँ बोलो. You want Mercedes? So I'm sure a lot of people are shy here, but be honest. You want a Mercedes-Benz car. How many people in our office, in our entire office, have a Mercedes-Benz car? As far as I know, only our MD has a Mercedes-Benz car. But every one of you can own a Mercedes-Benz car. And I want to tell you how. How many of you know this individual here? How many of you know this individual here? Santosh Puranik. Can you know? He's still in Guwahati. Ashok, still in Guwahati. This guy. Delhi office guy should know. Ashwini Anand. Okay? Joined in 2011 in Guwahati. During COVID time, this gentleman left in 2021. 10 years.
And he used to go to the
हाँ बॉस है इसलिए तो साथ में फोटो लिया है समझ गए ना बॉस है 2011 he joined as deputy manager 2021 he left as deputy manager किसी ने इसको देखा ही नहीं है मैं कुछ क्वालिटी मैं तो उसका बॉस भी नहीं था लीडर भी मैं तो दूसरा डिपार्टमेंट में था बट मेरे साथ एक कनेक्शन था इनका सो व्हेनेवर ही ऑलवेज टॉक्स मी सर मेरा प्रमोशन नहीं हो रहा मैं बोले मैं क्या करूं यार तुम्हारे डिपार्टमेंट में तुमने कुछ तो पक्का किया होगा मैं कुछ कर ही नहीं सकता हूं तुम्हारा बॉस तो दूसरा डिपार्टमेंट वो भी वासु था उसी टाइम आई कांट गो एंड टेल अश्विनी को वासु प्रमोशन देता तो मेरा भी गया वासु का गया ही नहीं है सो आई नेवर वेंट 10 years this guy is deputy manager but I told him Anna Hazare, one significant life-changing experience we had. Wait for it. So he was married, he never had a child and all that for a long time. And in 2019 or 2020, just before COVID, he got a girl child. So he keeps informing me, sir, beti ho gaya sir, after a long time. The boy, 2002 graduate, 2003 graduate hai. 2003 graduate, 2004 his father dies. 2004 his mother dies, becomes an orphan actually. Younger brother, उसको अमेरिका में पढ़ाई करा के उधर भेज दिया. His first salary was I think वो बोल रहा था मेरे को 1,800 rupees था बोल रहा. Told him, but you are different. I've heard a lot of he tells me a lot of things what he does. I told him, you are different. You are different. And he is the guy behind a lot of big orders, HMEL and all that. HMEL order, Batinda, Nagarjuna, a lot of solutions orders in thermal. Big orders. EIL पूरा because of his account. So Amit will know it. I told him, बेटी आ गया, लक्ष्मी आ गया घर में, कुछ तो change होने वाला तुम्हारा. Every time I tell him that, but actually हुआ. So he has joined this company called Condair. This is my last slide. Niranjan, this is खत्म करना. अभी whatever you have told, I have already told. He's still okay, so 2021 वो निकल गया. He gets his job in Condair. Okay. So Condair is a small company, first employee वही है. But it is a family setup in Europe. Italian company है. Italian में small scale business होता है. So कुछ he makes some what is called humidifier and dehumidifier बनाता है. So he comes to Vertiv. I think we are not running business with him. I think. Anyway, so and the owners like him a lot and all that, and then they have kind of adopted him. And then he becomes prosperous. I think they are now going to restructure. They have made a larger company. Got 17 institutions across the country. In the last 4 years now, they had nothing when he joined. So he will now be promoted as CEO. So he was public information. And seriously, Facebook fellows would have seen it. I am socially challenged, so I don't know that. But he said, sorry, 1 minute.
I think video missed it.
Just वो video चला. Just a minute. I want to see. Next. Come down. Come down. Down. Order. Next. Yeah. चलो. Hold it.
Hi, this is Ashwini Anand. I dreamt for Mercedes from my childhood and today the dream comes true and I am very happy for that. And I would like to thank Ms. Bhavya Arora who convinced me, yes, it is the right choice for me. Part of that I would like to congratulate Mercedes India for completing their 30 years in India. Thank you very much.
What is the message in this? Message is not leave Vertiv and go and but I'm telling you, go for your inner calling. If it isn't Vertiv, do it here. Give you 100% here. If it is not, find what is your inner calling and go and pursue that. But don't sulk and come for work. You will not become a karma yogi. You will become a karma drohi also. That's all what my message is. And I am now handing it over to Priyaranjan. That power is within all of us. Ashwini can do it. All of you can do it. How many of you want to own a Mercedes-Benz car now? Is it possible? It's absolutely possible. If Subhashini Misri can do that, if Arunima Sinha can climb Mount Everest, if that Australian gentleman can drive a bike after completely being paralyzed from here, if Ashwini can do it, all of you can do it.
Sir,
As long as we are here, I'll come to your point. You're anti-climaxing, you'll come to your point. Just hold. End the question. So, okay, at the end of it, we are in this Karma Bhumi, right? In this Kshetra, in this place. What is our target for the year, Priyaranjan? 2025?
260. 200.
160 with Rahul Thomas and immediately 160 crores. Let's do 160 crores. Okay? Thank you.
मैं बोल रहा था कि आप